Ed Lavandera for us this morning. Ed, thank you.
Now let's turn to a well-known and outspoken watchdog in illegal immigration. CNN's Lou Dobbs is joining us now from New York. Hello there, Lou. Nice to see you.
Good morning, Heidi. How are you? I'm
fine, thanks. Hey, you know, we realize that this year's rallies, in comparison with last year's, of course, are probably going to be quite a bit smaller. Why do you think that is?
Well, you've already got people trying to manage expectations. The idea being that I've heard a number of people say, well, there's great fear on the part of the illegal alien community now because there have been more ICE apprehensions. There are, various explanations. The fact is that I think most people who are organizing these rallies have just simply refused to look at the fact there was a backlash against the so-called Day Without Immigrants last week that was supposed to shut down businesses in some communities. It just didn't happen.
Right. So what is illegal immigration doing to our country, Lou?
Well, a couple of things it's doing to our country. It's creating a real confusion in mainstream media. You know, you've had up the title there, Immigration Nation, right? The fact of the matter is, I don't know what that means. The immigration nation. We're first a nation of laws. We're built on immigrants, but lawful immigrants. And I listened to Ed Lavandera. You talk about, does it do to us? I mean, Ed Lavandera in that report referred to coyotes as coyotes in the Latino language, and then in his stand-up referred to coyotes. There is this peculiar attitude on the part of some that there's a Hispanic identification in this. Yes, most of the illegal aliens are Hispanic, most from Mexico. And then you have the idea that he referred to illegal aliens as immigrants, as if there is no distinction in our reporting as mainstream media between legal, lawful immigrants and illegal aliens. That's one of the things that's been created here, mainstream media taking on what is effectively an agenda.
Okay, well stated and completely understand that. Here's a question for you, though.
Sure.
What do you do, and not that this is a really valid comparison, we talk about the Iraq War, there are definitely people who say, all right, look, we never should have gone there, and we should be pulling out. But, the fact of the matter is, we're there, so what are we going to do now? When you look at immigration, you have all of these people in this country, and we've talked a lot about the children of illegal immigrants who are citizens. What do we do now that the situation is as it is, regardless of if it ever should have happened in the first place?
The first thing we do, and I don't think it's really helpful, Heidi, if I may say, to conflate Iraq and illegal immigration in this country. The fact is, except in this one case, we have to take an empirical view of what we're doing. Both are issues of national policy, and they should be dealt with rationally, empirically. And you mentioned the children of illegal immigrants who have been born here. They are American citizens, and the law is very clear. They will be American citizens. Their parents have the right to take them home should they wish, if they choose not to be American citizens. But what do we do now? Heidi, it's very simple, because the fact is we need to secure our borders. I have said time and time again, we cannot reform immigration law in this country unless we can control immigration. We can't control immigration unless we're in control of our borders and our ports, and it's that straightforward. The 700-page Flake Guterres or Guterres-Flake bill in the House, the Edward Kennedy, George W. Bush legislation that will likely emanate from the Senate, the Democratic leadership on Capitol Hill, and the Republican president. This is just nonsense. The fact is we bring in more than 2 million lawful immigrants into this country every year.
Yeah.
That's more than the rest of the world combined. So this is nonsense. We have all sorts of guest worker programs. Why in the world, because Mexico sits in proximity, is contiguous to the United States, should the citizens of that country be given a free ride on the backs of legal, lawful immigrants and American citizens? It's absurd.
So it is easy to say. I mean, it would be difficult for some people to fight, obviously. Legal immigration only. In fact, and we heard a little bit more about it from Homeland Security Secretary Michael Chertoff. Listen, if you will, to this and get your comment on the backside.
We're obviously sympathetic to the plight of children who find themselves caught in this situation, but we do have to remember it is the parents' choice to break the law. We always do these raids in a way that takes care of children, makes sure that we've taken steps to coordinate with the local authorities, But at the end of the day, we cannot compromise on enforcing the law simply because somebody has given birth to a child in the United States.
So clearly you agree with Secretary Chertoff, correct, about children and the fact that this is their parents' choice to break the law in the
Absolutely.
first place. Okay.
I mean, it's
what
straightforward.
What happens to the child, though?
What happens to the child?
Yeah.
That is, as it is around the world, the responsibility and the volition of the parents. They must choose. Those who have chosen to come here to have a child, sometimes out of wedlock, but certainly timing their appearance within the borders of the United States unlawfully and have have a child in America, that's an American child with full citizenship. We have no responsibility for those parents, nor should anyone confuse the fact that laws are being broken to take advantage of the fact that we are not enforcing our laws at the border, we're not securing our borders, and we have to deal straightforwardly with it.
Lou, thanks for being here on the newsroom. We appreciate it.
It's a pleasure.
And as most people know by now, tomorrow night, a small town with a huge problem. Lou Dobbs, he is live in Hazleton, Pennsylvania, where the fight heats up this town and draws the line. What they're doing to fight broken borders. The Lou Dobbs Primetime Special, CNN, tomorrow night, 8 o'clock Eastern.
Personal stories and political policy, immigration issues in the spotlight this morning. We will talk with a Texas congressman straight ahead for you in the newsroom. Plus, seeking sanctions.